Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andrew, and I have my good friend Keenan here, and we are technically supposed to be doing a wrestling podcast, and it is talking wrestling, but nothing's going on in wrestling for the most part.
Uh, a
We-
couple of things. A couple of things are going on. We got The Rock. Why does he keep coming out? He doesn't look like Aladdin, but he looks like the carpet that Aladdin flew on. What's up with that? When he wears the same shirt like every fucking week, it's this flashy fucking. And then he keeps putting up the picture of him in the black shirt with his fanny pack on. I'm like, bro, you look better than whatever the fuck you're wearing right now. And
But you have to realize, Keenan, you and I both know, The Rock hasn't had a major blockbuster hit in a long time. Money's tight, Keenan. So think about it, right?
He looks so out of place trying to be the heel again. Like it's been so long since he was the heel. Like he looks so out of place. Like you fuck with my family. Oh my god! And I guess Fox and WWE figured out. I was able to watch like The Rock highlights on SmackDown before I got on with you. It came on like I was just scrolling through YouTube. It was like The Rock on SmackDown. I was like, was this from the night? Like usually. I don't see this till I guess they figured it out. All they have is highlights now.
I think. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like when Raw's on USA and even on Fox, sometimes it's 9:00. SmackDown comes on at 8, and you get the opening segment at like 9:30. And I'm like, SmackDown's not even fucking over. And because let me ask you a question, and it's somewhat wrestling related. Yeah. Micro content is dictating everything, right? So I don't know if it really matters anymore if somebody watches SmackDown or if they watch a 5-minute promo that Cody cuts and then they get the YouTube money from that shit, right? Because the YouTube money might be more money pound for pound than the Fox deal, where all of a sudden if that thing does 50 million views, that's more viewership than all of freaking SmackDown. And while those 50 million views aren't going to be $50 million, it might be a good $500,000, $700,000. It could be.
No, dude, it had like 100,000 views, and it was up for like I caught it. It was up for 25 minutes. 25 minutes, and I mean, dude, this was like maybe an hour. I mean, SmackDown was still going on when they fucking posted this thing, dude.
But that's my point, right? Like.
I saw Logan Paul is going up against Randy Orton and KO or Kevin Owens. Yeah, my bad. They're all. I saw a clip of them from tonight. Like they're just like, fuck it, we're just leaning into this bitch. YouTube's the way to go.
Because you and I both know. I mean, my micro content does better in a lot of ways than my interviews do.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with that because I've shifted as a content creator that I do interviews in blocks and I build an interview purposely so that it can be cut up easier than before when I sit down and do it. And now it's tricky when you have a bad interview or your guest doesn't understand what you're doing. When your guest knows exactly what you're doing, oh my fucking God, thank God, right? But I think WWE's figured out that I don't really care about watching Raw for 3 hours. I don't have a 3-hour block in my schedule. What I do have is I have the ability to watch. I want to watch the promo. I want to watch him come out, and I watched what you watched, essentially. Didn't see everything that you see, but I want 15 minutes. Give me the best 15 minutes of SmackDown every week.
Yep. I mean, it was what it was. It was nothing worth writing. Rock talked about the Cody crybabies again. Cody actually cried about giving the belt to his mom. And Raw the week before. I don't know. Everything is just like I don't know. Maybe I see it in like I literally never ordered pay-per-views back in the day because I watched SmackDown and Raw mainly. That's what I did in the app. And plus, I only had like regular cable and shit, so it was like, okay, let's see what's going. I don't know, but I'm just saying, it seemed like they kept you up more. I don't know, man. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm still, and it seems like this is what they're leading up to. At least in my view, Cody and Seth are gonna lose night one. Rock is gonna interfere, but Cody's still gonna win. And then Rock it's gonna blame Roman, be like, how the fuck are you gonna be the head of the table if you can't even beat Cody Rhodes, you pussy? And then because I mean that's the whole point of
Me and a friend of mine, we're speaking about this on Wednesday, and what he said is that he thinks we're gonna have Bloodline 2.0. So Roman is gonna take a leave of absence, not be done from the company, but just take a break, right? I think it's time for Roman to sit a season out, and I mean really sit like 6 months out, and not be the champ, but sit 6 months out, where just dude, spend time with your family, go on vacation, maybe take an acting role, do something else for 6 months because you've been the stable and you've been the only consistent thing. I didn't say it was good consistency. I said the only consistent thing was Roman Reigns the last 1,000 days. I think everybody can agree on that. But then I think what will happen is that Solo Sokoka, so I can't speak today. Wow, Solo will step up. I think you're gonna have Paul Heyman somewhere around in there. I think you're gonna have Jey Uso in there. You might even have Jimmy come back, and there are people from this family who are technically free agents or are going to be free agents in the next 3 to 4 months in wrestling. So I think you're going to have Bloodline 2.0, and The Rock is going to come in and out because they're going to lead this right up into the next Netflix deal and that's what they're doing. But they need to revitalize the Bloodline.
Right.
And with The Rock being a board member of TKO now, it makes sense to use him as a personality because it's cheaper, because he's making his real money from, being a board member and having shares in the company and being a brand ambassador. So for him, if he has shares in TKO, it makes sense that he would want the product to do well.
Well, he might as well lean into it because he can't buy anything anyplace else. Like, you're exactly right.
So that's what I think is going to happen. I think that, and I'm not saying, because if you leave Roman out for 6 months and then he comes back and he's like, this isn't my bloodline, you guys are pathetic, and then he rebuilds Bloodline and he makes Bloodline 2.0, he comes back in a War Games match unannounced, the pop is going to be there because he's not going to lose the head of the table, but then you could have a lot of shit go down with this, and you don't need Civil War Bloodline again, but now you have Roman as Alpha and the Wild Samoans. I can't think of the other Wild Samoan, but you now have
Zika or something.
You now have him in there. You have The Rock in that role, and now you could really build out the young kids.
Right.
And now you can actually build Bloodline 2.0 and pivot without any problems. That's the only way I think this could be done.
We'll see. I don't know. They're
gonna be wrong, aren't we?
They're what?
We're gonna be wrong, aren't we?
I was just about to say, like, all this shit. Like, I'm pretty sure we're both. I mean, it just doesn't. The Rock is gonna be involved only as soon as he gets a decent movie role again. He'll be out of the fucking WWE shit. He only popped back in. He's like he fucking XFL. I mean, when was the last fucking movie he made? What, Jumanji 1? Jumanji 2? I don't know.
The last good thing he was in, the last thing that was relevant that he was in was somewhat, I think, like Fast X.
Yeah, the last fucking Fast and Furious before he got all pissed off. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
why do you think John Cena was in what, Fast 9? Because John Cena basically took The Rock's role. because you need a guy like The Rock who has the charisma, and Vin Diesel and The Rock don't get along.
I don't know. I feel like The Rock is just fucking adrift, and I mean he's got to have millions and millions of dollars. Like,
He's worth billions, no doubt about it.
So what more do you need to be happy? Like, why do you have to be in? Like, just fucking take a break. Like, he needs to go learn a new hold. Like, hey, it'd be great if he wasn't in 15 fucking movies a year.
This is my thing, though, is that, I mean, The Rock was in Ballers, right?
And that was an okay show. That was just okay. But I watched it from beginning to end, and it makes, what does that say about me? Ballers was just okay, and I watched it just because it came on. Like, well, let's watch Ballers.
I mean, look, it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. You know how much shit I watched, and it's okay. So I was speaking to somebody, Mike Barron, and people in comics know who Mike Barron is. He's a great writer, and 90% of things suck. So when I go out there and people are like, "Oh, I'm writing this great comic, I'm so excited," I'm like, chances are your book fucking sucks. Chances are, and that doesn't mean you don't have your moments in what you're doing. But I would make an argument that 90% of my interviews suck. Okay,
I would make that argument too. 90% of what you do sucks, Mecca. No, I'm joking, dude. I'm joking.
No, but this is going back to the micro content, right? And this is go back to the whole wrestling thing too. That's why I want SmackDown in 15 minutes, because a lot of SmackDown is average or bad. We might say, hey, wrestling is collectively better than it was a year ago, but if wrestling is 50% better, that only means it's 50% better, and it could still suck. You could have something be better than it was last year, but still be bad, right?
But I agree with you. But it's also what we take in now. Like, we don't, like, literally the segment the Rock was in a 20-minute segment on SmackDown. I ain't got 20 minutes for you, bro. At 20 minutes, and I'm supposed to wait through fucking commercials, and what, like, literally, I can wait a day or two and then catch it on a record somewhere. Like, same thing like Saturday Night Live. The only reason I still watch Saturday Night Live is because it comes on Peacock every Sunday morning commercial free. If it was any harder than that for me to watch Saturday Night Live, I probably wouldn't be like, oh.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question, right? So John Cena hosted Saturday Night Live. I stood up and watched it because it was John Cena hosting, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody I like is hosting, like when Dave Chappelle hosted SNL, I was curious what Dave Chappelle was going to do. So I stayed up and I wade through the commercials, but I don't watch Saturday Night Live. You know, I'll watch a clip here and there, like what they just did with Bo Yang. I think it's Yang, right? Or is it Yang?
Yeah, Bo Yang's the Asian guy that's on it right now.
I love him. I thought it was really funny how he pretends to be gay, and that's his game. It was Sydney Sweet, and then he played her completely. I thought that was great. I thought that was funny.
Please don't destroy. That's that shit was funny. But
I really enjoy him, and I could watch anything he does. And I love the Matt Chat, skit they do.
Yeah,
because that's great too. But like my point is that SNL, they either hit it or they miss now. There's no middle ground.
Right.
It used to be that they freaking killed every little thing. I mean, one of my favorite things was with Will Ferrell and Jim Carrey, when Jim Carrey was the lifeguard in the hot tub.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites too. But see, I mentioned that as one of my favorite because people are like, "Oh, I love Will Ferrell in the hot tub." I'm like, yeah, Will Ferrell and Jim Carrey, I love that one. They always think of Will Ferrell and Rachel Dratch doing the lovers. Oh, we lovers, like trying to swing in the hot tub. That's whatever. I'm like you. I think Jim Carrey and Will Ferrell in the hot tub is, and like Jim Carrey trying to save him and pull him out of that shit. But people always think of lovers. We're the lovers. You got to be the lovers. They're always trying to pull another guy into their fucking mix.
The other good one with Will Ferrell was Pierce Bronson. He went to come for the job interview, and then he's like, I am. He just like is yelling at everybody at the office, and he's a terrible boss.
Leading, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Or the one where he has the American flag on his like bikini briefs on, and he's like, I thought we could show
That
our
one's good
patriotism.
too. That one's good too. The one I'm talking about is that where he's yelling at everybody, and then somebody comes in where somebody says, Mr. Tartakovsky, I'm ready to fight. And he's like, yes, Mr. Jervison, yes. And he takes the trident and he just keeps going and going and going. And like it's over, and he just there's like another 3 or 4 of them in there. Oh, that was great.
Will Ferrell, Bill Hader, Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, all these people could make a sketch better, could make something weird even better. Like Chris Farley saved a sketch with Adam Sandler, the Pepper Boy sketch. It's literally Adam Sandler and Dana Carvey asking like, "Oh, you like a pepper?" But
I thought Chris Farley almost broke Adam during that.
But wait, no, that's what I'm saying. Chris Farley was pissed off that him and David Spade were shooting Tommy Boy. He had to come all the way back to New York to do that one scene, and all he was saying, "Why, yes, he had one line." So Chris Farley got pissed off. He's like, "I'm gonna make you break, Auntie," and then he made the sketch all the better. Why, yes, Pepper Boy. Of course, I want more pepper. And you hear Dana Carvey in the background, like in perfect, like in trying to stay in scenes, like don't the break, talking to Adam Sandler. It was quintessentially funny and hilarious, and just that's one of my favorite sketches. And I mean, but Will Ferrell had the same thing. He could take a sketch, and one of my favorites, and this leads to our next topic, is Will Ferrell playing Robert Goulet. Goulet! You ever see him play Robert Goulet?
I don't know if I've seen this.
Oh my gosh. Do you have the capabilities to look it up on our thing and pull it into our boxes and shit?
I don't know, because I don't know how far we can get away with it. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's yeah.
I'm already on a warning for something on YouTube, and if I get a copyright strike, I'm banned from doing anything on YouTube for a week.
For real? Like,
yeah, I interviewed. I mean, full disclosure.
Don't talk about it, dude, because we're on YouTube right now, at least on my end, live, and
I put a link that I should not have put a link into a description, right. And YouTube basically said, we're giving you a warning. We're not suspending you. We're just letting you know, take the link out and don't do it again. And I'm like, I got it. I didn't realize I crossed the line. I have never crossed the line before. And YouTube was okay with it because I think they get that people make mistakes.
Right. Well, I don't think it'll be taken off for a week. But we don't need. I'm just saying. Will Ferrell plays Robert Goulet, and he does it hilariously. He does it. You have to look it up once we get off. But of course,
have you seen Get Hard with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love Get Hard.
Have you seen the new Will Ferrell movie with him and Jamie Foxx playing dogs, strays?
I haven't seen that, but it looks really funny.
It's actually fucking hilarious. But since we don't want to badmouth wrestling the entire time, let's talk about some Recess. Did you catch up on some Recess shit?
Every day I watch Recess. Technically, there's something to do with my job today, so that's what I did for like 2 hours. And then I watched Law and Order, but that's not the point.
Law and Order and I would love to see Recess remake some Law and Order. Do a Law and Order episode. Before we get too much, I remember there's a Recess where Spinelli's like aunt wrestling somehow, right?
There was something with that where like there was an episode where the Ashleys gave them wrestling tickets. There was that one.
Fucking Ashleys, and I swear to God, the first time you fucking say scandalous, we're done. The episode is done. We're over.
I
Did
love
you
the
see the link
episode.
I sent you?
What'd you say?
Did you get the link I sent you of the fan
I
made?
did get that. I did get that. It's insane. There's a live action. We're gonna talk about that too. It's
All
amazing.
right, Gus looking chubby like the new Mikey and shit. When I saw that, I thought that was Mikey at first. I was like, "Where's Gus?" And then I thought, "Oh, that's Gus." Man,
So
insecure Gus got fat. What happened,
I
Gus?
thought so I love Recess because isn't Recess really just a bunch of we're gonna get controversial slightly. What I like about Recess is that it is a diverse group of friends
Yeah,
just scheming and being kids, but just interacting, and then they're thrown into all these social circumstances. And it was made in what, 97? And
yeah.
like it's a weird show because you have TJ, and TJ is kind of, I don't
Redhead.
know, I don't know. My point is that I don't know where they're taking place, but he's just like a normal kid, and he always has a scheme, and he's sort of the leader. But then you got, kind of a tomboy, but still, a girl, Spinelli. You have Vince the jock. You have Gus, the new kid, who's a little bit timid, but obviously comes from a military background. You got Mikey, who's theater, and then you got Gretchen, who's the science nerd. And it's such a diverse show. You want to talk about character development? That show has legitly six diverse main characters, and then you have a bunch of supporting characters, and it's like perfect. It's perfect. Like how they built this out is insane. It is a perfect world that should be mimicked. And as somebody who reads a lot of comics, this is the model that should be used.
Yeah, and I think it's the model. I hate it when they get group that like a sitcom or something, or even a show will start out with, 6 people or some shit, even Friends, and then all of a sudden it's almost like we've talked in wrestling, like 2 or 3 of them will dip out for a second, and then you got an A story, a B story, and they never interact and shit. Recess almost kept all 6 kids together most times. There, every once in a while, you get a single story, but a lot of times you still get all 6 friends together working together. Even like I mean, I think that was the best part of Recess is it kind of drove everything. Like you said, it was a diverse group of friends, but it kept the stories together and didn't say, okay, well, this week this is a TJ and Vince story. Even if it was like focused on TJ and Vince, you still saw the other 4 characters.
Or like, when they're doing senior fusion, right? And then TJ's versus Principal Prickly for it. That's a TJ story, but all of his friends are in there and they're supporting him, and everybody's in it. Like I thought it was a brilliant, brilliant show. I love it. I think
And
there's funny things in there, and I also like the episodes where it's like a whole ensemble.
yeah.
Like,
And real quick, before we get further, let's talk about the voice cast. Just a couple of them. Dabney, Principal Prickly, one of my favorite character actors of all time, Dabney Coleman. Uh, then we got, of course, Andy Lawrence, one of the youngest Lawrence brothers, and TJ was played by 3 kids, but Lawrence was the longest and the last one. Then we got the only one to be an adult and play a kid is Spinelli, Bobby Hill. That's my purse. Leave me alone.
and
I
and,
don't
and
know you.
she plays Marcy on Californication.
Yep. And then Gretchen, she was a child actress. I didn't look up her name, but I know her voice. I know like when she that Gretchen voice. I don't know if she started on Growing Pains and like a couple, but those were like the 3 main things. Let me ask you, who was the sexiest teacher in their 20s? 20-year-old, what was the sexiest teacher?
In Recess.
Yeah, in Recess. 20. If all the teachers, you take all the teachers, what's his name? Prickly, uh, the main one for the 4th
Grokey,
graders. What's her
Miss
name?
Grokey, Miss
Yeah,
Grokey.
Grokey, Finster. You take them all. 20 years old, which one do you think is probably the sexiest?
I mean, wasn't there the episode where Mikey had like the music teacher?
Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe. But if you remember in School's Out, they show Femster 20 years old in the 60s. She's kind of a sexy hippie. Like,
You would say that. I know you're gonna go with that.
too bad I knew what Femster was going to become, but she's kind of and that voice, she has the same voice though. That voice is just, Femster, no. Like,
You gotta love Miss Finster though. You gotta love her.
I do love how she's kind of a dick and like how she's kind of there for the kids in the end. And I do want to talk about the last 3 episodes of Recesses. They're going back to 5th grade. They're going to 5th grade. It's like they did 3 episodes of them going to 5th grade for some reason. They made it a movie. Like maybe they played around with making a new series, but like, nah, that's too much work. Let's just make a quick little movie and blah blah blah. These freaking kids act like 5th grade in the same little elementary school is so terrible. They took these things away, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to get this. The entire time I'm watching, like, these kids are not going to be fucking ready for junior high. Like, I would love to see, like, we saw that live action when we talked, but I'd love to see the cartoon version of them in, like, 7th grade. Their first day of junior high school and, like, oh, shit, this is not, the first fight we see, like, somebody's buying pot in the bathroom. Oh no, like, the Ashleys are all separated and bitches to each other for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, these kids are not prepared for what junior. Like, they were acting like 5th grade so terrible. No, junior high is gonna rock your world, bro. Gonna rock your world. And then I would love to see.
So let's actually talk about this because
Yeah,
what I like about Recess is that it was like 12-minute episodes, right?
yeah.
So you don't need anything major between episodes. You could just watch it. It's chilled out. And in a lot of ways, obviously, I grew up and I remember Recess. I was like 5, 6. And then it ended, I think, around like 2002-ish, 2004-ish, I think. So
there were 65 episodes on TV, and then they did 3 movies.
So my point though is that
Yeah.
I think it lasted about 7 years, give or take, from start to finish, which is pretty good, all things considering. That it was probably not that expensive to make, and it was a filler for Disney. It wasn't their moneymaker. Like we look at Disney's moneymaker, even Stevens was a moneymaker. Lizzie McGuire was a moneymaker. I know Disney very well as a company, really well. For lack of a better word, but I don't want to bore everybody with their financials.
Too late.
If somebody wants that, they could pay for it. By buying Disney stock. Anyhow, I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. But what I like about it is that in certain ways, Recess is timeless.
Yeah,
where
they made it that way too. They tried, like, I even on some of the things, like, they wanted it, and you spoke about like what region of the country was. I believe it's supposed to be anywhere USA, but because I think they use, at least down in the South, there's not a whole lot of like 3rd Street schools or 145th Street school. It's all named after Confederate generals and shit like that. No, I'm joking.
Presidents.
Presidents, or like the school I graduated was like Lake Highlands, like the area of town that we were in and shit. They know.
I mean, my high school was Yorktown High School, and I lived in Yorktown, right?
Yeah.
So, it wasn't Thomas Jefferson High School or George Washington High School or, Franklin D. I can't speak there.
Delano, who cared? Franklin D. Roosevelt.
But
that big D energy.
Yeah, I know. I haven't had a monster lately. I mean, I just spoke for 53 minutes with nobody watching me on my one night. What?
No, you're good, man. I'm just saying, instead of like you fucking with his middle name, he just D. Fuck him. No, I'm
He has
joking.
the will of D. That's what it is. What he had like 4.5 terms? It's insane.
Yeah, well, he had like 3 terms and what his wife had a couple of terms and took up for him. Like,
It's amazing. It's amazing.
yeah. But no, I get it
Because let me ask you this, and I'm
yeah.
curious, we'll take you off, but like this is what I think is interesting right now about television is that sure, Recess has certain things that are outdated, right? Because nowadays there's other things that obviously if you're in third grade, you're exposed to other things where but nonetheless, I don't think that a fourth grader now has as much freedom per se than these kids have. But that's also for television to some degree.
Yeah, but it also like you gotta I come from the 90s, like I was from the last generation, like I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to. Like as long as I came home by dark, like I came in from school, walked out the door, came back at dark. That was the way it went. We did live on a quiet street though. I don't know if it was different if you live like in an apartment or some shit. Cause I lived in 2 separate worlds. Me and my mom stayed in an apartment. Me and my grandmother, I went to my grandmother's every afternoon and I got to do whatever, like until my mom picked me up after work and some shit. So I got to live both sides of the world and shit. But I never knew what it like. I lived a very inside life at my apartments with my mom and shit.
I I I grew up where I was born in '93,
Yeah.
and definitely, I wouldn't say my parents were watching me like a hawk, but it wasn't the thing where you would play for a little while, but you have to be back in your house not before dark, but like 5 o'clock. So if I got out at 2 o'clock or 2:30, it's cool if
Yeah.
you hang out for an hour and a half, but your parents knew where you were.
Oh yeah, like I said, we had a quiet street, so every afternoon I would play with the same like 2 or 3 dudes, and they always knew like where like they could call my mom could call these houses, and like I said before dark, by the time my mom would come and pick me up around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So when I say dark, like I had to be back at my grandmother's house just so my mom could pick me up and take me home, make dinner and shit, and do all that bullshit. But
No,
I
because
digress like you. No, I'm
no,
fucking.
no, no. My point though is that this goes back to television because we look at shows today. I feel like shows have I'll make this argument. There's certain elements of Big Bang that are timeless about nerd culture.
Yeah.
So them going to buy tickets and buying contraband tickets to San Diego Comic Con, very true. And also them buying collectibles and overpaying, very true, right?
Mhm.
Very, very open and very honest about that shit. So, because I've been there, right? And things being overpriced and things getting really expensive being priced out. There are things in Big Bang that are relevant today. But there's also things in Big Bang that have been dated. Things in Seinfeld. Some of the humor in Seinfeld is great still, but there are massively dated things in that. I feel with Recess, this is not necessarily dated. Obviously, there's things that are dated per se, because society with children is different in 2024. But I feel like Disney did a really good job where they really created like a 95% timeless show. And I think it's a skill. And I don't know if it's because people when in 97 to 2002, 2004 knew how to tell stories, or if it's just that it was just a perfect combination, or they just hit the right characters and the thing worked itself out. Because you look at the six main characters, you look at Lawson, you look at the kindergartners, you look at the Ashes, you look at the Diggers. I mean, all of these people have roles, and they're so well defined that it's hard to fuck it up sometimes if you have legitly every component defined.
Well, I mean, like I said, they had 65 episodes and 3 movies, but basically, it's fucking 1 year, a summer, and a few days of fifth grade. Like, so you basically all that viewing time is 1 year of these kids' life. So you don't they had a lot of time to flesh everything out, and they had a lot of airtime. Like, we can tell a little bit of everything. We don't have to get, we can spend some time with the Ashleys. Yeah, this episode's gonna, and even that's another thing. Like, when they took side trips, like with the Ashleys, like the one of the best episodes ever, and I think it was right at the beginning, was Spinelli being an Ashley as well. Like, no, some of their greatest episodes are right at the beginning. The first one was, you're getting to know everybody. Then Gus comes to town. And then I think within those like first 5 episodes, Spinelli comes out as an Ashley. Comes out. That's a weird way to put it. But yeah, Spinelli comes out as an Ashley.
She's Ashley S.
Scandalous. No, I'm fucking with you. I took it from you. I took it from you. Stole that shit.
That's fine. I'll just give it to you. It's all yours.
What's your I know you're saying what's your slogan you're trying to get done?
So every for those who don't know, every season now I pick a slogan. And my slogan is hey, my name is Andrew Davis. You're watching Conversations About Culture, and yes, I am scandalous like an Ashley. Nobody's gotten it yet, and I'm like, how do you guys not get this? This is a reference to the 90s. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this should be the first thing that's questioned.
This is how you know you're fucking old, Andrew. Like, let me tell you a couple of the first times I knew I was old. I'm placing my order at Taco Bell. What's your name? Keenan. Like Keenan and Kel. I don't care how you spell it. Just give me my food. I'm sorry. I'm not that old. I don't know who Keenan and Kel is. What the fuck is wrong with you? What are you talking about? You don't know who Keenan and Kel is. You don't have Nickelodeon? Your parents you don't see Good Burger? I understand I'm old, but come on now.
But that's just it, though. See, I take a different position. I'm wearing my Yu-Gi-Oh shirt right now, but you see me wear Bring Back the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Like the 90s were great and they're popular. Like, there's so much good shit in the 90s.
No, great shit, but you don't even know. You were born in 93. I was born 10 years before you. I am the last great generation. I was born in the 80s and I was raised in the 90s. We are strong motherfuckers.
I'm going to challenge you slightly because my generation has a few good shows. We got a few. We got a few good weapons that are real contenders.
Well, right, so what's a few good show? What's your contenders?
Kim Possible, Batman Beyond.
You okay? Oh my gosh, your Kim Possible's where you begin with this. Batman Beyond, I could give you. All right, Will Friedle, what's his name that just passed away? The Batman.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin Costner. No, Kevin Conroy. No, I know.
Okay. So let me explain. I'm sticking with my Kim Possible choice. You could disagree with me, but Kim Possible is amazing. I mean, yeah, Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable is great. The whole thing was great. So anyway, it's all right. It's all right. You're not a believer yet. Don't worry. You haven't seen
any other do you like any other cartoons that don't have Will Friedle as one of the voice actors? Go ahead. My bad.
Of course, I like things that don't have him as a voice actor. But okay. So I'll give you like the 5. Static Shock was great.
Okay.
Batman Beyond was great. Avatar: The Last Airbender was fantastic. Okay.
I could do with that.
The cartoon, not the Netflix shit.
No, I was talking about the cartoon too. I know we're not talking about the Netflix shit. I'm talking about the cartoon.
The Netflix thing was amazing. No, don't watch it, guys. I'll save you a lot of time and effort. Netflix tried, and it's not that they didn't put effort into it. It just doesn't work.
It just doesn't happen. All right, so Avatar, Batman Beyond,
Static Shock, Impossible, and the last one is Jake Long, the American Dragon. That was a good show, man. That was a good show. And I'll throw a 6th one in there. I will throw a 6th one in there. Hot Wheels 35 and Acceleracers was amazing.
See, and this is where we slightly do differ because I'm 10 years older. And the only reason I like Recess and you like Recess is because I was a nerd and like Mikey was my spirit. Being a blonde haired fat kid, like, oh my God, Mikey. And it came on, it was like on every Saturday morning when I'm just eating my fucking cereal, watching, Doug and I don't know. I don't know. I dig it. But I literally Static Shock, yeah, I feel you on that. Batman Beyond, of course. But every other show you said, I'm like, no. No, and that is because those shows that you bring. But wait, it's because those shows you bring up came out later in the 90s, and I was more hanging out behind the bathroom stall in the alleyway and shit, and not watching cartoons. That's what I'm saying. So that's
just it, though, right? I've been watching cartoons, and I never was hanging in the back alley doing anything bad. I was just like, yo, I'm watching Static Shock. Holy shit, this is good. And I'm like 17. I'm like, Teen Titans, give me the fucking Teen Titans. Give me Teen Titans Go. Like, again, I haven't grown up. I mean, obviously I have, and I have adult interests as well. But
yeah, we saw her at the beginning of this fucking thing.
What'd you say?
We saw her at the beginning of this thing. You have adult interests as well. Yeah, we know. We saw her. She looked like she was part of Baywatch. We saw.
Some user. I don't, because I don't. It's not that. I think that's his name. If that's your handle, dude, you got the best handle. Some user. That is an amazing handle.
Some user. 80.
Yeah. Much respect. You would get along with us perfectly fine. You would get along with us perfectly fine. If that's his real handle on YouTube, you would get along with us perfectly fine. I guarantee it. It's just so clever.
Yeah, mine would be some loser. Your granddad. 654. Thanks. Well,
So,
right,
let me ask this, right? Let me ask you this, because let's get back to Recess, though, because I like the fact that they had the movie. I thought it was a good ending in a lot of ways.
I did I liked the School's Out movie. It was good. I liked the going to 5th grade. I could have done with that grow down. I don't need to see them in kindergarten. I'd much rather see them grown up. I don't want to see them as even smaller children. Like, fuck. But yeah, they got, 65 episodes, 3 movies. They got a lot of time. I would like to see them going into high school, and I would love to see them come back. Like, let's do a class reunion. 20, like the same voice actors coming back. I want Andy Lawrence coming back. Hey guys, I don't want them sounding like kids. I don't want them trying to be like, I want them grow up. Yeah, and like TJ's got like a bald spot, like belly showing. Gus is like military man, like I want to see that. And I want to talk about the live action thing I sent you to. What'd you think of the live action?
I thought that it was interesting, man. Like, I'm like, this is interesting, but like
Disney would never let it go down. That's for damn sure. They would never let their IP. Huh?
Wait, what did you just say?
I said Disney would never let their IP go down like that at all.
I mean, look, I saw the Ashleys. I thought they handled the Ashleys perfectly, because aren't the Ashleys supposed to be a reference to Clue? Because that's what I thought they were, right? Aren't they a reference to Clue?
I think so, but I did like Mikey getting his just dessert to one of the Ashleys. Like, he's all buff and dreamy and shit now. That's how it works.
Yeah.
I did like that. They did a pretty good job. TJ's in high school looking like me with his fucking sideburns and shit popping out of his red hat. But it was funny. I don't need to see, the only kids that need to figure out murder mysteries are Scooby-Doo. I don't need to see Archie or the fucking kids from Recess, or let's see a live action Doug where somebody's been killed. I don't need that shit. Like, why is every like if you need somebody, do the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew if you want to like Sabrina the Teenage Witch comes back live action trying to figure out who killed it. Like, when did everybody become? I couldn't be a detective when I was these people's age. Like in high school, like somebody died, we got to figure it out. Well, it shouldn't be the stoner kid in the alley figuring out who killed somebody. Like, let's not do that.
I Scooby Doo is great. I love Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo is great.
Don't get me
No.
wrong. I love. What did you say that time? We were doing our Velma recap.
Oh my god! I'm like, yeah.
It was hilarious. It was great.
Wasn't it something? I'm not a racist here, but
Yeah,
like,
don't get me wrong. I'm not a racist. You were wearing some shirt or something like that. And I was like, yeah, dude, that's exactly what a racist would say, dude. Don't ever say. Don't get me wrong. It's like, I don't want to sound gay or anything. Wait, hold up, bro. That's exactly what somebody would say, dude. What are you talking about, man?
maybe this is why I have no friends anymore. Maybe this is the reason why. Maybe this is the reason why people don't want to speak to me anymore. Apparently,
you need a co-host on your whatnot thing. You need somebody you need like an auctioneer. Maybe you're not the right person to like. I don't know. You just don't come off like a salesman, bro. Like, you almost come off like, you gonna buy this shit, buy it or leave me the fuck alone. Hurry, buy the book or leave me the hell alone, bro. You don't come off very nice. We got another. They kind of did what you described with them being all grown up and Beavis and Butthead worked fairly well. So I'm sorry, some users, I love saying that. Some users trying to get up on our fucking shit. Talking about Butthead being grown up. We're talking about Recess.
I love his handle. His handle's great. Like, your handle, dude, it's amazing. Some user, because people think we're referring to like some user. We're not trying to be disrespectful. Legitly, his tag is this guy's. Like, that is his tag. It's some user.
I wouldn't keep reading this shit out if it wasn't some user, because it sounds so. Some user says we're a couple of assholes. What's he say now? Here, what's this one say?
I'll throw it up for you. I'll throw it up for you to make it easy for you.
I don't want to fucking I gotta go to the right side of my screen and.
He says, "Nat, I was agreeing with you."
I know he was.
Yeah.
That sounds like he was disagreeing every time we say some user over here. Some user sounds like he's like we don't like him.
What's amazing about this whole thing is that I can go and do a sophisticated interview with somebody and have like a top CEO on my podcast, and then I'm here doing this on my Friday night, and it works. It works. Okay.
It work, and you got some users probably from my little fandom, bro. I begin. Let me before we get. Maybe we'll get a hit. There's I reply to my YouTube comments like at least once or twice a day, right? And I get some. I don't know how you feel about Adam Sandler, but I get some absolute Adam Sandler haters on my shit. Like, they loathe Adam Sandler, and I say some trolling ass shit. Like, I say, like, if they say, anytime somebody says something I don't like, I say I used to like you, which is what my uncle used to always say. That's what he'd say to anybody. Like you say something he didn't like, I used to like you. I used to like you. So that's my thing. And like, literally one person said, "You don't even know me. How would you know you like me or not?" Like, dude, this is fucking YouTube. Of course I don't know you. What are you talking about, man? I barely know Mecca, and I'm doing a show with him right now. You talking about, oh, you don't know me? Of course I don't know you, you fucking weirdo.
So I had one brilliant trolling moment, and I ran a Kickstarter, right? And I was asking people for money, advertisements to be on my show. I was trying something. Some people got it. Some people later on thought it was a joke and were assholes about it. And my response to them is, go eat your ass out with a spoon. That's my response to them.
Well, real quick, like doing this YouTube, Facebook shit and like putting yourself out there, like basically, like let's get down to it. You're basically begging people for money. You're doing your sales thing on that side, but if you were just on YouTube saying, "Hey, I got this merch, I'm
Go
doing this,
further.
I'm doing that," you basically be like, "Hey, it's almost better like, hey, if you like what I do, send me a fucking dollar, guys."
I'll throw you one better. If you run a crowdfunder on Kickstarter, I understand that you're technically providing me a product and a comic, but you are begging for money at its core,
That and
right?
that's and like real talk, yeah, that is right. Like,
So,
but
so
at
the
least
way I see it is that at least I was honest about it,
it's
and
disguised by a product. That's what we need. We need and you're selling other people's products. You're moving that. You're moving other people's stuff, but that's what the problem is that it has to be disguised by something, and I don't want to disguise because what I'm doing, like, I have no real sales pitch for what I do with you. I have no real. I'm literally just working on myself, trying to build my stand-up comedy and trying to get better at working at shit.
this is the whole thing for me is that what I figured out is the following is that I am now figuring out how to leverage out every single piece of micro content into just being everywhere. So I put my own ads for my eBay store into my micro content. And so now all of a sudden, when that shit gets 25 views, 30 views, 50 views, my eBay store appears before you get to see that content in a clip for 3 seconds. And maybe if you see it enough and you're into collectibles, you're going to be like, okay, what is this guy's eBay store? And maybe all of a sudden, I get 100,000 views on my micro content in a year or two. And maybe I can get 200 people who then go buy, $50 comic a piece. And again, that's what I figured out is that I'm leveraging my brand because I have digital real estate. And then once I prove that concept, I then can go to people and say, look, how is your ad stuff working? Do you want to buy a permanent ad on my position and enter the digital real estate land and my Razor X? So I am playing the long game.
Well, yeah, that's what it all like. It doesn't. That's the. I mean, most YouTube channels in less than a few months. Most YouTube channel they like lasting a year is few and far between. And we're going off now. Now we're talking about YouTube fucking analytics and shit, and like going off even.
No, but the point is that I think because going back to the Ultimate Troll is this guy was just giving me shit, and he was running an Indiegogo, and then I finally I had enough. I was trolling him, and I had enough. And what I wound up did is that I just started building out a playlist of songs.
Right.
So I started with Stop by the Spice Girls, and then I was going to go all the way down, and I had Why Be Like That ready with Three Doors Down and after I played the Spice Girls song, Stop, it ended because he had nothing. He had nothing because everybody who was going to see that in this Facebook group were like, okay, now Andrew's going to troll the shit out of him.
Right.
And I was begging for him to go because I had 50 songs ready to go. I had like some Marilyn Manson ready to go. Why You So Vain? Baby Don't Hurt Me.
But the trolling, like, that shit helps your channel too. Like, people don't understand. Like, the more, like, I love it when I have to press on my comments, like, read more, and especially if I've had nothing to say on this whole fucking list, and it's just like read more, read more, read more, and like literally I just say like I love y'all just arguing with each other about stupid shit that I posted, and it's just to bring views to my channel. Like, I'll post something tomorrow and then I'll link it to this, or I'll,
So I agree. I have no problem. I like making controversial statements, and I get shit for it, and I got no problem doing that. But what I figured out really quickly is that like I've been, I don't know if I've been trolled because I think there's a difference between dunked on and trolling. So If somebody wants to troll my, interview or EFAP this, be my guest. You're just going to give me exposure.
Mm.
But the second you attack my family, that's different. Because that's not trolling anymore.
No, that's
And so I have been trolled. I have trolled people, and I'm like, okay, you can troll me all you want. In fact, if you're gonna EFAT me and play me, and I'm calm and collective, yo, you're just introducing me to your audience. You make me look like an asshole. Somebody then comes to my YouTube channel and says, wait a second, this guy's a decent interviewer. Like, what the fuck?
right,
Like that's how that works, right?
right.
Because if you misrepresent somebody, people then try to come and troll you, and then they come to your YouTube channel and see an interview, and it's a professional product. They're like, clearly something is off here. But it helps me. So if my enemies want to fucking take my streams, snipe me, make comments, make rude comments on me, go right the fuck ahead because you won't win the war. You'll win the battle, but you won't win the war. Because that was bought and paid for by our sponsor today.
The
What's
U.S.
our sponsor?
Army, G.I. Joe, knowing is
Well,
happy.
I was going to say Bob's Products, but
Oh, we are all Bob's product. That's the sponsor. We are all Bob's product. Even Mecca, he doesn't know it yet, but he has been. What I find great is that because my YouTube channel, a lot of my stuff is Bob's product, and you know why my shit's called Bob's products, right? Well, and a lot of people they'll reply like, well, Bob, I love that they have they haven't put, because I introduced myself as Keenan and Kel. Like a lot of people, nobody has any idea, or on my TikTok they'll be like, well, Bob, like my name's not actually Bob. It's I'm Keenan. We're all Bob's product, but I'm Keenan. I'm my own damn man, damn it. You can't change me. I'm a fucking Mikey TJ hybrid. Hanging out with a Gus, weird ass, a Spinelli Gus for some fucking reason, like an angry little troll that's just trying to beat us all up. Get mad. So how many weeks do we have till WrestleMania now? Like what, 3 weeks?
Mania is on what, the 6th and the 7th?
April, right? Yeah. So we got like 3 weeks.
Yo, honestly, I think so. I was speaking to somebody and he said, "Oh, it's gonna be a mad, disappointing WrestleMania." I'm like, "What the fuck are you smoking? Like, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be great."
It's never just, and that's the thing. Like you can never, if you don't, because I am never physically invested in, I'm never too invested, so it's like, oh, it's gonna be disappointing. Like, well, I get to see a couple matches, see one or two things that happen, right? Like, I'll be okay. Real quick, do you watch Dark Side of the Ring at all?
Oh my god. Oh my god, the plane ride from hell, dude. Oh, great episode.
Yeah. Have you been watching this season at all? Because I got I think they're on season 5, episode 2 this season.
I probably should catch up. Is it good?
They're coming to the not dark side of the ring. It's more like the first one's Earthquake, and the Earthquake story is more sad. It's not really dark. Like he didn't. It was more like he died of a heart attack or something. Like he died of cancer. So he knew he was gonna die. His family was all around. Like it was just a sad story. And then number 2,
it wasn't. Have you seen the episode The Plane Ride from Hell, right?
yes, I've seen it. I've been watching Dark Side of the Ring since the beginning, man. I love
because The Plane Ride from Hell was fucked up.
Well, the whole thing was fun, and I love what's his name, Tommy Dreamer, saying, "If Ric Flair decides to harass you, you should be lucky." That's basically what the dude said. Like, don't be so sensitive. Ric Flair showed you his dick. Like, you should make yourself feel lucky. That's another thing. When the fuck did The Rock become the Ric Flair of fucking wrestling? Like I've never heard him say oh, I like a woman that's screaming, "I love you," probably drunk and horny. What the fuck are you, Rick?
So this is a good question though, right? Is that the issue with Dark Side of the Ring, and this is my criticism of it, is that we're almost judging circumstances in Dark Side of the Ring in 2022, 2023, 2024. If it's 2000, it was a different culture. The rules were different. It's easy to judge something in a higher standard 20 years later than it is to say, wait a second, wrestling was a boys club, wrestling was the Wild West, and there was some fucked up shit that happened in the day.
I get it. It's just I get all that. I get all that, but still, I mean, Tommy Dreamer doesn't have to be stupid and like I get all that. Shit happens. Shit's different. But I mean, still, even in the year 2000, maybe you don't want to like whip your dick out and whip it at especially if you're a rich guy, a part of the WWE. Maybe you don't want to like harass a woman like. And now that we even know more about Vince McMahon, maybe that was like okay. I don't know, man. But
I'm not saying it was okay, but then again, the whole thing, maybe the fucking problem was WWE. Maybe somebody in that organization, what was it? Was it 97? Was it 2000 playing Ride from Hell? Maybe somebody in the WWE should have said no more goddamn fucking alcohol on this fucking plane.
Well, right, but you're also like, I don't know if anybody went up to tell like the higher ups in a different part of the plane, like, hey, the rest of the dudes are going nuts. Like Jim Ross had to go to the back to get on to somebody for doing something. Like, hey, maybe somebody, and nobody's gonna go up there. Snitches get stitches. Like nobody's going up to the front. And plus, the women are all getting paid, and this has all been bought and paid for. So if they're being told, hey, go bring another, and plus it was. How long was this taxiing? Like taxi like all night? Like
What
it was
happened? What happened is that their plane got delayed by 5 hours, so they just kept ordering another bar cart.
yeah, and it's one thing to be delayed for 5 hours inside the airports. But being stuck for 5 hours on a plane and then you have to then fly to where you're going, that's crazy. Like some
Oh,
shit's
I
gonna
agree. I agree. I think the whole thing from start to finish, the plane ride from hell, if we're going to break it really down, is I think the situation was bad. I think the fact that you have a bunch of guys making a lot of money and can afford a bunch of alcohol and pay 10 G's for a bar cart. And like, here's 10 grand, get me another bar cart. And then after the third one, the train's off the tracks.
I do think that the woman still. I mean, she still deserved the money. I mean, I wouldn't take that away.
Oh, absolutely. She deserves
Okay,
it.
cool. All right, I'm just making sure. I mean, I wasn't trying to get us.
Oh,
in
that's not what
trouble.
I'm saying. What
Yeah.
I'm trying to get at, though, is that it's very easy to judge. And we'll take a position in me, right? So I made plenty of mistakes and plenty of bad investments. I thought they were good. It is easy to make a decision and then 5 years later said, I made a bad decision, knowing what I know now. So I bought Bitcoin at like $400 a Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
So, and I sold it because I had some debt. I got rid of my debt and I sold it at a loss. It was fine. I was happy. It got me in and out of a situation and I had to do what I had to do. But if I held on to it, it would be worth a lot more.
Right.
Right. But that was 5 years ago. Hindsight is 2020, right?
Right.
So it's easy for me to say, well, I really fucked up on that one. But at the same time, I also say, you know what, though? I made a decision and I didn't know. And I'm okay with that at the same time. So, like, it's just easy to judge something in the past and looking back. I mean, what Tommy Dreamer said is that he said to some degree, maybe it's not good to know your idols and your heroes very well.
Nah, all right, I give you that. But I also think, like, I mean, you're looking. This is, and again, we're getting to like coming to the plane. I don't know if you watched The Dark Side of the Ring from the beginning, but we're coming to like we're kind of stretching for it. The plane ride from hell wasn't the dark side of the ring. It was the kind of
It was a
blurry
shit
side
show.
of the ring. It was the kind of, or like, it wasn't the first season was about the Von Erichs and the fucking Gino Hernandez and the what the hell's his name from that went to Puerto Rico and got killed. Fuck. Can't think of, but I'm just saying these were the real dark stories of wrestling.
What's his last name? The gay wrestler.
Oh, Canyon.
Yeah,
I don't
Chris
know his last name, but his ring thing was Canyon.
So that was dark.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were stretching for that. And then you had James Mitchell talking about that. When do you see James Mitchell talk about anything in wrestling? I mean, James Mitchell talking about this and telling him what he thinks and how he was good friends. And I think James Mitchell knew, but that was dark that you have him, this gay wrestler, not feeling comfortable to come out and slowly going off the rails.
Yeah, the Chris Benoit story was dark and good. The Owen Hart story was dark. And I'm not saying I'm not taking anything away. It's just they're stretching for stories now. And I don't think the plane ride from hell was more a story. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't put it as the dark. And that's what I'm saying. Like I don't, Jake the Snake Roberts, his dad, and that whole family, that was the dark side of the fucking ring. Whatever, like his dad riding with young women, that was the dark side of the ring. Like, that's not taken away from any story. We're just kind of stretching it. And the last one, number 2, was the Buff Bagwell and the Bagwell story. That wasn't really the dark side of the ring. It was more the stupid side of the ring. And then went all in.
Plane Ride from Hell was just a fucked up situation.
Yeah.
It wasn't dark per se. It was fuckery. It might be a better word.
Fuckery.
What? Fuckery is a word.
No, it is. It's a. I don't know if it's a word, but it could be used.
Of course. I'll use it in a sentence for you. Would you like me to get you some fuckery on tap?
Hey Siri, is fuckery a word?
I don't know how to respond to that.
I don't know how to respond to that. No thanks, Siri. Fucking dick. I'm not saying it's a word that could be used. I'm almost positive you're not gonna find it in Webster's dictionary under.
Yo. Here's what we're gonna do. We're taking it back. We're taking it back, Keenan. We're taking fuckery back.
Where to go? What do you mean taking it back? It's always been around. I'm just saying, like it's not in. It didn't get put in Webster's dictionary along with the word ain't or something like. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like fuckery's been around.
You get put in with it because you have a lot of other words next in between them. Why would it be put in next to it?
Fuckery to fuck in a slightly rigid fashion.
Fuckery. I have plenty of fuckery ready to go on tap.
To not be truthful.
The definition of
about every situation. What up with, to use in a sentence? What up with that fuckery, yo?
We just found our first shirt, the fuckery, and then we'll have a definition.
That's gonna be a hard sell. That's gonna be.
I don't think it's gonna be a hard sell at all. I think it's gonna be an easy sell.
Well, I mean, like, go. You go do the designing of that shit, dude. Go ahead, go do.
No. We have to come up with the definition of it.
I thought we just did. I thought I just like rewind the tape. Can we get an instant replay? No, I'm just my bad.
Let me rewind this for you again. Harrison Johnson to do that.
To fuck with a little bit of rigid, to not be truthful with all your intentions.
Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? Is it a descriptor? Like, oh my god!
It can almost be all those. Like fuckery.
It's gonna be fuckery, parentheses, noun, adjective, adverb,
Watch
verb.
out for the fuckery that's taking place.
Oh my God, he got some fuckery with his wood. Yeah.
Almost want to chat GPT it. Like, can you give me the definition of fuckery?
You should do it.
Give me the definition. Let me see if I can do it. Like, tell me if you can still see me or not when I do this shit.
Yeah, I can see you still.
All right,
This is
cool. So let me
great.
look this shit up.
And here's how we're gonna do this, right? We're not even gonna make the merch. We're just gonna put it on Redbubble and we'll take care of the whole thing.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, I like this. So behavior, circumstances that are not.
Give me
Look at that. I love this. That's great. This is the definition.
again.
Behaviors, circumstances, situations, etc., that are nonsensical, foolish, or compensable. Oh, this is great. This is great.
Where'd you get yours from?
Yeah, some user just did it. Oh, that's great. I'll steal this. I'll put this on a shirt. This is
Some user. You can't be. All right. Fuckery is colloquial term often used to describe deceitful, dishonest, or mischievous behavior. It typically refers to actions or situations that are absurd, nonsensical, or implied. It can also encompass any kind of foolishness. But I think some users better, like, but
I think this is how I'm gonna start off every fucking Whatnot show moving forward. Welcome to the fuckery. And that's how it's gonna go. It's gonna be great.
yeah, that's gonna help your sales thing. Like, yeah, we want to join this. That does not sound like welcome. What up, ladies? Welcome to the fuckery. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the fuckery. It's Friday night. How you doing? Welcome to the fuckery. And you're from the East Coast.
You know what I sell? You know the exact merch I sell. So it's crystal clear that if I put welcome to the fuckery, everybody, I guarantee you're like, what the fuck? How do we get in here? Is there like a membership for it? Like, imagine this, right? Every freaking comic I sell, I send somebody a fuckery membership card. Do you know how ridiculous?
What is it? Fornication. What is it? Fornication under consent of the king. That's what fuck means. Fornication under consent of the king.
What the fuck?
You never heard that?
Oh man, this is amazing. I gotta start trolling people with that shit too.
From what I understand, is the word "fuck" is an acronym for fornication under consent of the king.
Damn.
Have you ever heard heard of the band Bloodhound Gang?
Is the Bloodhound Gang do the House is on Fire?
Yeah, but then they have another song called Fox,
Burn.
They have another song called Foxtrot, Unicorn, Charlie, Kilo. Like this, the whole fucking thing of the song is, and the title of the song is Foxtrot, Unicorn, Charlie, Kilo. So fuck. It's kind of a brilliant. Like I can't tell you how long I was singing that song. Like, and then I looked at it like on the bottom of a YouTube thing, and I was like, oh shit, Foxtrot, Unicorn, Charlie, Kilo. That means fuck. These guys, like every song they put out is something about fucking. Like, and that makes me think they've never had sex before.
It's like the Butthole Surfers, right?
They went to the Butthole Surfers. Gibby Haynes went to the same high school I went to.
So catch this, right? Dave Matthews spent a year in Yorktown High School.
Yeah.
He's from the Dave Matthews Band. And then
no, really? He's from the Dave Matthews Band? I did not know Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
What is this? The Dave Matthews? I've never heard of this. So there's this guy, Dave Matthews, that's also in a band? Wait. There's not a guy named Hootie and Hootie and the Blowfish? No, I'm fucking with you, Mecca. My bad, man. Go ahead.
I thought it was pretty funny because I walked right into it, and I can laugh at myself.
You can.
I can laugh at myself and to answer some user, yeah, some fucking assholes attacked my family on a dunking stream, but it's neither here nor there. I used to like them.
I used to like you. Don't be stealing my shit, Mecca. That's my shit. I shouldn't even told you that shit.
Don't worry. I did provide them.
My other co-host on my Waffle and Out show, he took my, like, he was somebody, he was like, yeah, I was somewhere, and I told him I used to like you. I was like, quit stealing my shit, motherfucker. That's my shit.
But if it happens again, I'm going to ask them their address so I could send them a spoon so they could eat their own asshole out.
Well, let's just don't be graphic and gross, Mecca. Jesus.
I thought it's a
their
charity.
own asshole out.
What do you mean it's a charity? I'm sending them a spoon so they could do it.
It's a charity. There you go. There you go.
I'm going to get a tax break for it. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to get a tax break for it, and then I have to explain to my CPA. So why did you deduct 50 cents for spoons? And then I'm like, well, you see, this happened and that happened. And my accountant's like, you know what? We're going to deduct it anyway. And then the IRS is going to audit me. And they're like, sir, what's the deal with this spoon thing? And then the IRS is just going to like,
Mecca, maybe you can help me. I want to start a church. I want to start a church. I'm serious. I'm not joking. I want to we get together every Friday night or Saturday night, and we just fellowship on YouTube, and I get the tax breaks and the donations, and then I can beg for money and be like, hey guys, you know, we take your donations. You know, we're the Church of Pop Anime. Bob Anime unites, Bob Products. We all unite under Lord Bob. We are all Bob's product. Kiss the sky.
You're gonna have me. What am I gonna be, like a Jewish deacon?
No, why you take it someplace else? We're not adding in other religions. We're making our own religion. You're not a Jew. You're just a deacon of the church. You can do whatever you want to on the side. I don't care about your actual religion. This is just, I want to make money and get a tax break. All I gotta do is I gotta meet once a week and beg for money. That's it. So hi guys, welcome to my church, the Church of We Need Money. Have you ever seen How High? The black guy's name, his homie is I Need Money. He's like, why's his name? Why are y'all friends? How you know this guy? Cause I met him the first day. He said I need money. He's like, shit, motherfucker, me too. Let's go. Like, shit, dog, let's go.
We should do this. You're
the treasurer, or you gotta set. I'll be the charismatic.
No, I'm giving myself a new title. I am the e-checker.
You're the be quiet guy, because we don't need you to get us in trouble for anything.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I can imagine you getting us in trouble for something. I don't know. Like you saying the wrong thing. Like, I'm gonna be the funny, fat, jovial, like, pastor guy. You just need to be the money guy, taking it all in and doing, like, you can come out every once in a while, but you're gonna. I can imagine you get into arguments over people that are trolling us over our church, and I'm gonna do
into arguments. I'm just gonna send them a nice little thing.
You're a son of a bitch.
No. This is what you do. You send them an all-inclusive membership. That's all you have to do. Say, we welcome you for the nominal fee of $1 million a year. Thank you for joining our church, and we appreciate your donation.
I don't know about $1 million a year. We just need
we should go higher.
$1 per week from each of our members.
No. So not $1 million. So we should go $2 million is. I'm in.
Well, I mean, if it's $1 per week, I mean, who knows? You don't say the millions, dude. Just say $1 per week from each of our members. Our membership is just $1 per week for less than a cup of coffee a week. I don't know. Like, we got to make it sound like that. Again, you've got to come up with all the smart shit for me to say. This is your job, bro. You are the puppet master. I am the puppet. Just say, like, hey guys, we just need, basically. if you remember, we just need 50 cents a day, and then we send out.
I got it. This is good. This is good too.
And then just like Robert Tilton or one of these pastors, like we send out, like we'll be getting a cup of holy water. You'll be getting. We'll pray for you. We'll send you out a card. You know what I'm saying? And our prayers won't be like, oh, in Jesus' name we pray. Our prayers will be like, somebody needs to save this asshole. Like we'll have we'll send out like what the egg roll fortune type of shit. Like you'll get one fortune sent out to you. You'll have no idea what it is. We'll have no idea what it is. We'll just send it out to you.
It's gonna be so bad. So this is how we're gonna do it, right? For so the ASCAP, whatever it is, says for 19 cents a day, you could sponsor a dog and save from homelessness.
Yeah, we're less than that.
That's where we're going.
5 cents a day from every one of our members. If you come up with 5 cents a day, really and truly, just when the donation plate comes around on Sundays, Saturdays, Fridays, whatever day we decide to do it, just drop us a buck. We'll throw a Cash App up there for you. Just throw us a buck to the Church of what can our church? The Church of Comedy, Church of Pop Culture. Like, what do we want to talk about each week? Like, we don't want to talk about wrestling. It's got to be something that invites everybody in.
No, we'll talk about pop culture with a lesson. With a lesson.
Okay. Speaking of which, what movies? Before we sign off and everything, I want to talk about, because nothing's gonna happen in wrestling next. Have you seen Big Trouble in Little China?
I have not. I haven't seen that.
Motherfucker. Have you seen Short Circuit 2?
I have not seen that either.
Oh, motherfucker. You're killing me, Smalls. All right. So, and you haven't seen Mystery Men. So,
yeah,
do we want to... Okay, so Mystery Men is about a team of superheroes. And it's terrible superheroes. Kel Mitchell's in it from Keenan and Kel. Pee Wee Herman's in it. Ben Stiller, Janine Garofalo, Greg Kinnear. It's good. It's kind of like I'm telling you.
When was this made?
Late 90s. No, 2000. It's like right before. I think it came out in 99. I think it came out in 99.
Was this around when Smash Mouth did All Star?
Yeah, that was the music video. This was the first time it came out. You know, because because then it came out again for Shrek. This was the first time it came out. It was like a big thing.
Because that would make sense why that music video was like that with that, and then because Ben Stiller was in that music video.
Yep, and that's basically, and the best part is Ben Stiller plays, his superpower is he gets really angry, but it's always like and he never does anything. Nothing ever. I'm telling you. And there's Big Trouble in Little China. Kurt Russell, John Carpenter. It's like their third movie they made together.
I love Kurt Russell. I think Kurt Russell's great.
And you never seen Big Trouble in Little China?
No, I just haven't. It's like,
no, it's okay. It's okay, man. I mean, this is gonna make for, and you've never seen Short Circuit 2.
No.
Now, I'm gonna vote that you need to see Big Trouble in Little China. That's what I think.
See it.
I think that's what we should talk about next week. We did.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't
gonna happen in fucking wrestling. I'll keep up with it. I'll watch it. I'll see.
No, I'm gonna watch the fucking highlights. I know nothing the fuck's going on.
No, the highlights just. I mean, literally, I saw 20 minutes of The Rock's promo on SmackDown, and then I saw that Logan Paul and Randy Orton and KO, Kevin Owens, are gonna do something, and Logan Paul is really good. Like, he's a great wrestler, great in the ring, but his outside the ring shit, like, that ruins everything. Like, he is just not believable.
I don't know about that.
Well, at least to me, he doesn't like sell on the out. He's not a great actor on the outside of the ring.
Let me put it this way, right? So I agree on the acting, where I don't think Logan Paul's a good actor.
No, he's not.
But I think Impulsive is a really good show. I think I think his podcast and Impulsive, I think he's gotten better. And I honestly think that he had a great interview with John Cena. He had a great interview with Randy Orton. And he's had some really, really good people on lately. And he had some really good stuff with Triple H, and he had Kevin O'Leary on. And I'm like, I agree on the acting. Like
He
the
might
heat,
get better. Like you said, he's gotten better with his other stuff over time. He might get better. And I might be being harsh, but just like literally he's on ringside watching, I think, Randy Orton fight like Austin Waller or Austin Theory and that Waller guy. And then Kevin Owens comes out to save him or some shit like that. And Logan Paul, they're just kind of doing the whole like, oh, fuck you type thing. And then the general manager comes out and is like, oh, Logan Paul, I wanted to let you know who your opponent's going to be for WrestleMania. Actually, your opponent, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. And I'm like, didn't we just see like them all like, isn't this just a smaller version of the Elimination Chamber basically? So this is like, so we got a Royal Rumble, an Elimination Chamber, and now a triple threat. So we just, it's like 3
okay.
in a row.
So let's put it this way, right? Logan Paul is so damn good in the ring, and he's great for WWE. And I agree the acting is not great for Logan Paul, and he can get better because remember, he's 29, right? So the guy has a lot of room for growth as a wrestler and as an actor, but he is really good on Impulsive. But that's a podcast, and again, I'm not a huge Impulsive fan, but I looked at some of his earlier shit and where he's at right now. It's just if you do enough of this shit and you put in the work, you're gonna get better. I am a better interviewer after doing almost 700 interviews, and I am just getting good.
Right.
My point though is that it took a long time. You were talking about the whatnot and the thing, and I know you're half joking, but you're also giving me constructive feedback to some degree. It's going to take a while for me to be good at that. It's just
Right.
the way it is. I am definitely a better interviewer than I am selling things live on air. It is a skill set, and it is not an easy skill set. And it may be that I don't have that or I have to build it. But the way you do that is that you just go live every fucking day you can.
Yeah, you do it. Yeah, that's what I do. Like, cause I understand. Yeah, I am just giving you shit, man. I've never been on a whatnot app.
But I understand that I'm not worrying about it because I'm not going to be homeless if these things don't sell.
Right.
I would like them to sell because I would like to deleverage out of my position. But a lot of this shit's on eBay, and it's annoying because I've over leveraged and I borrowed from myself. So I'm not going to be homeless. I have a day job, and I think this shit will eventually sell. But I would like it to move, which I think is understandable.
It'll happen. What's
I
up?
hope so. I hope so, but I'm in a good position. It's just that I can't pivot until I have some more capital.
Right.
And that's life. Sometimes maybe it's just time for me to calm down. You know, maybe pull into the garage and open up a beer after you're out of your car. What?
Just the fact that you had it's just funny that, and I understand why you did. It's just the fact that you can't even say like pull into your garage and have a beer. Like you have to say after you get out of your car. Don't sit in your car and have a beer in your garage without the car moving. Because then what if something happens? I mean, it's just I get what you're saying. I get why you
I
say
thought
it.
it was funny. I purposely said it because I knew it was going to be funny. I knew it was going to be funny because I know somebody's going to be like, "That's so like it didn't have to be said, but you did it anyway." I knew
Pull
it
into
was
the garage and have a beer. Don't take this as life advice. Just no, I'm fucking
I mean, we could DWI all day.
DWI all day.
drinking while investing.
Drinking while there you go. You might want to come up with a different name for it that comes to that. Might not be the name of your new YouTube show. DWI all day, y'all. Let's get drunk while investing. Although I would love to hear like your description of movies drunk. Like like they do drunk history and shit. Like I'd love for next week
Oh my god,
you to
dude,
get drunk and
dude.
describe. Tell me what you thought about Big Trouble in Little China. Oh, it was great. They were in San Francisco. Like that's what we need to do.
So the reason why I'm not drinking tonight is that I went through half a bottle yesterday and I didn't feel it at all.
Sheesh. That's
I'm
not a
like,
good time.
what the fuck's the matter with me?
Drinking too much.
Not even, dude. Not even. It was one of those things where like I had it over 2 Dr. Peppers, and I had ice, and I had about like maybe 7 hours, and I was just watching basketball, and it just was like it was one of those like every maybe 3 or 4 months I have a night where I don't feel a damn thing. Alcohol like has no effect on me.
That happens quick
I'm
sometimes.
not a heavy drinker. Maybe it was just my mental state. Maybe it was just that it was just perfect time. Maybe it was whatever I was eating. That somehow it was just a combination where this thing was just being processed through me like it was nothing. And I fell asleep great. I got like a good 7 hours. I didn't wake up. I woke up a little bit thirsty, but like, and I'm like, there's something the fuck wrong with me because the week before I had a shot and a half, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't feel too hot. So like it's a weird one. Now I'm in the house, like I can't explain it. It's so weird. It's so weird. And I look at the bottle, I'm like, this bottle's gone. What the fuck? Like, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. I mean, I knew I was buzzed.
Quick.
Maybe I just needed. Maybe my body knew I just needed like a fucking like position where like my brain just shut down and I was just in bliss. And that's all I got. Like, because I've been stressed out for like 3 weeks, and I gotta say, like last night was like the first time in 3 weeks I was not stressed out.
Well, that's what being drunk as shit will do to you, Mecca.
But I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything bad. I
pulled into the garage, got out of my car, and I got drunk.
It's not funny when you say it. It was funny when I said it. Okay, get your own material.
I pulled into my car. I got drunk, and then I got into the house. Oh wait, no, that's not how it went. My bad.
This isn't working for you. I have to tell you, it was funny when I said it because it was unexpected, okay? And it was unnecessary to say it. The fact that I have to break down why a joke is funny. Have you ever seen the YouTube channel Fatal Breakdown?
Yeah.
You know the channel, right? It's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so they did the guys trapped in the pipeline in like the Caribbean in Trinidad. I'm like, oh my god. Like I had a nightmare about that, and I could never, ever, ever go anywhere near a goddamn fucking oil pipe ever again in my life. I refuse.
Well, you better stay away. Shit.
Scary. It's almost as scary as the guy who got sucked into the gigantic nuke pipeline in Florida.
Dude, where are we going with this now, man? Now we're just going from one I'm not nightmares because of this shit. I know he did. I know what you're talking about. I try to stay away from that shit, man. I'm already fucking like weirded out enough by it. Like, fuck.
No, the nuke pipe thing is crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. I hope he sued that power plant and won a bunch of money.
I'm sure he did, like, especially in this culture that we live in now. Like, the first thing that happens, like, I'm suing. That's the first thing.
The best story is that a dog had a life vest on and fell off the boat somewhere in the Gulf, and somebody found the dog. Dog was fine, just swimming, just happily jumped on somebody else's boat, and the people were panicking. And then they just brought the boat. They brought their dog near the Coast Guard. Coast Guard was like, "Hey, we got your dog, man." She was just like treading water, just riding the waves, no worries. It's like
Dogs don't, because dogs are stupid. They can give two fucks what's going on. It's
she
super
had her life
blissful.
ran fine. She was out for like 2 hours in the sea, and she was fine.
She probably the entire time, just like Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. All right, man. Well, I gotta go. I hear my girl coming home, so she's gonna come bother me in a second.
Well, obviously, we end the same way, right? We always end the same way where people promote themselves. I will let you go first.
You promote first.
Okay, I will.
Your shit all day.
Yeah, I'm Pop Anime Comics on YouTube, Pop Anime Comics on Instagram, Pop Anime Comics on Facebook, Twitter, Pop Anime Comics. I'm Pop Anime Comics on Whatnot. If you would like, every Friday night around 9 o'clock, I am live on Whatnot. Next week, I am doing some fun stuff, and I don't know if I am allowed to show things, but I'm going to do it anyway. If give me 1 second, I am doing video game night next week, and
9 o'clock Eastern time, right?
9 o'clock Eastern, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just making sure so the people that watch know. I mean,
I am just getting a book to show everybody what I am selling, because I am selling some fire as soon as I can pull it.
What?
Here we go. This is some sweet books that I got. Got some sweet books, sorry, everybody. It's hard to walk in life. Something like this.
Nice.
So this one I think is a hollow foil. It's 1 out of 25.
Okay.
So I think this is my copy that I'm keeping. Maybe I haven't decided on that one. But I'm selling some serious cool books, and the rule is that all hollow foils are 50, all metals are 50, and any book that is 25 minus the 3 that are the 1 are $50. And then the 65 or unders are 40 or 45. And again, those books when they first came out were about 20. So hollow foil, this book when it first came out is $30. So I'm only selling it for a little bit more, given that it's sold out.
Right.
So I try to give people the best deals I can give them, and I really try to be as fair as I possibly can on eBay and on Whatnot. And but we have a good time. And you're not obligated to buy anything from me on Whatnot. I'm there. I do 1 show a week, but I also have an eBay store, Pop Anime Comics, and I got a lot of good stuff there as well. So again, if you're interested in collectibles, comics, I got you covered. If that's not your thing, no worries. Just subscribe to me on YouTube. I guarantee you will be entertained. And I got a pretty big interview coming up on Wednesday. I have a CEO of one of the largest comic companies coming out in shops. I just asked. My reputation still has weight. But enough about me. I'll let you go.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Next time you say pop anime anything, you should do the pop sound with your, like the lollipop sound. Lollipop, boom, boom. That's what you gotta do. The pop, but I can't do that sound. I even practiced it while you were doing your whole little.
Better yet. I might be able to top you. Every time I do the pop, I should have a weasel come up. Get it? Pop goes the weasel.
Pop, pop goes. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying with the pop goes, but when you say pop, that's why I say whoop, and I can't do that sound. I wish I could do that fucking sound. Anyways, come follow me. We are all Bob's Product. You can follow me on my YouTube, Bob's Product. You can follow me under my Facebook, Keenan Press. You just have to look and find, but probably the main way to go is on Bob's Product, because we are all Bob's Product. You can come join the family. I hang out with Mecca once a week. I do a show from Waffle House where we talk all 90s stuff. Like Mecca said, 90s are huge right now. I've kind of started talking about 2000 stuff, but I just don't think I'm as interested. Like, because 2000s I was like getting drunk and having kids, so I don't think I really care. Like I'm saying, like I tried to make it to where, like, once we came to the new year, like, we'd start talking about the 2000s and everything, but it's just not ramping up right. I'm just not digging it. So I think we're gonna go back to the 90s and just say fuck it. But yeah, so next week, Mecca's gonna watch Big Trouble in Little China. We're gonna talk about it. Mecca's gonna get drunk and he's gonna describe what happens in Big Trouble in Little
No, I
China.
think I'm gonna table. It depends how I feel as a person. And if I'm feeling a little sicky, I'm probably gonna pass because I gotta really cut out my alcohol, guys. But
Oh, no,
maybe
you're
I'll have
good, man.
beer.
I'm literally just joking, man. You could let the reality isn't funny, Mecca. Like, they're not gonna literally. If they came in next week, they're not gonna be like, "Oh shit, Mecca's not drunk. Let's go." Like, we're not that. Some user is not gonna hate on you not being drunk next week if we're just talking about Big Trouble in Little China.
No, he now has a vision of me being intoxicated, and now I can't disappoint. Look what you did. You've set expectations.
Whatever. You can't disappoint. You can't disappoint. All right, well, goodbye, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. We'll be around next Friday to talk some shit about some stuff. Mecca won't be drunk. Don't get it twisted. He will not be drunk. Don't get excited and think he's gonna be drunk because he's not. I don't want y'all to make it my fault or like, oh, because Keenan said this. No. I did not say that. All right. Is that okay, Mecca? Does that make you feel better?
No, now I feel like I have even more pressure on me.
How about I'm gonna be drunk as shit next. I'll be the one drunk as shit. So tell me what you thought about it, Mecca. What'd you think of the Pork Chop Express? Come on, man. Tell me. Sorry,
I'm gonna watch this now. I'm gonna make sure that
I'm
I'm
telling you, dude.
prepared.
I'm super excited that you're a Kurt Russell fan, and you've never.
I like him a lot. I thought he was great.
Well, what do you say? Thought he was great, like he died or he's not good anymore? Why would you say
No,
that,
I'm sorry.
Becca?
I
If something
think he
happens
is.
between now and next week, I am blaming you for Kurt Russell in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, I'm just giving everybody a preview because maybe I'm just gonna have to take him out. No, I
Just
mean,
giving everybody a preview. I'm seeing Kurt Russell not being around much longer. It's so gonna suck if something happens to Kurt Russell. I really hope nothing happens to this guy now. Because now it's like on video. Now you're worried about that. You thought getting drunk was a worry. Now we gotta pray that Kurt Russell makes it through the fucking week. That's what we gotta do. Kurt Russell.
the amount of shit that you can pull out of this interview is gonna be insane. Like, and for all my haters, all I'm gonna say is that the amount of shit you could pull out of this interview is great too. And thank you for making me a superstar.
All right, you are a superstar.
I think we're good. I think we're good. And on that note, before we get both canceled, because I'm on thin ice on YouTube already, so we're gonna peace out, everybody.
You're over exaggerating your thin iciness. You're just a careful guy. You don't want to get in trouble.
No, they gave me a legit copyright warning. They basically said if you do this, you are gonna get a strike, and you can't do any live streams or post any content for a week on YouTube.
That's crazy, dude. I get copyright like warnings all the time.
No, they said I wouldn't get a first strike if I do something like I did because I put up a link that YouTube basically said was a porn link.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That might be different.
I didn't think it was that. It was a link tree to a porn star's whole shit, and I didn't think it was a problem. And apparently it was. So guess what? YouTube's like, yeah, you made a mistake, and we're not going to torture you. Just take the link down. You got to take our quiz and just be good for 90 days.
Bob's product do not reflect the opinions of pop anime, mecha. Like, I'm just saying, like, we like him and all, but we just don't reflect the same opinions and views. No, I'm so fucking with you, Mecha. I was just letting YouTube know that I don't want to go down with this. I'm not going down with
no. YouTube realized that it was just an error. So instead of outright suspending me, they said, hey, just don't do it. And that's cool. Again, we all make a mistake here and there. And I wasn't upset. I'm like, oh my God, I made a mistake. My bad, right?
I'm
And that
perfect.
happens.
I don't make mistakes. I'm perfect, Mick. I don't know what the fuck you're talking
There you go. We're gonna end on that note.
God doesn't make mistakes.
But we're gonna end on that note, everybody, because it is time to end before we become imperfect, or we are 50% perfect, and I am not in the 50% that's perfect. So it's been a blast, everybody, and we will see you next Friday.